I've always had strong faith. I'm down with Jesus. Mary's my gal. She said yes, and because of that, all of this is possible. I grew up Roman Catholic, attending church with my mom on Sundays, but like many of you, I had questions. This didn't make me popular at my parish growing up. Fast forward, I stopped going to church shortly after I was married. I would attend on holy days such as Ash Wednesday, Easter, and Christmas, but to be honest, I had a tough time reconciling my work life, which was around HIV and AIDS, with my faith life. Some churches weren't burying HIV-positive people in consecrated grounds, and I wept. I wept because this was not the faith I believed. My Jesus loved all, accepted all. After floundering around for a few years, my mother said, "Cyra, please find a church. You need a church. Look at the Episcopal Church." I did, and I knew I was home. I was home because I could have this love for the forgotten, the poor, the sick, the suffering, and the helpless. The people of CTK had big, open hearts, and the young people of the church were right there in the mix. With them, we talked about the readings of the day and asked what their take was. They shared simply and sometimes more complex thoughts. The youth talked about being at school and sharing openly with their peers about their faith and belief in God. They had discussions like this over lunch. What? They were out there being bold. I was not. The kids would talk about stressing out for an exam or perhaps missing a bus. One kid, Theo, said he sat and closed his eyes and said a prayer, and that created calm over himself. Wow. But the more amazing thing was how a few of the other kids joined in, having this same experience. I didn't talk about my faith a lot. I was afraid of how it would be received by others. What was this saying about me and my life as a follower of Jesus? It was speaking volumes. I had to get out of my comfort zone. As I thought I was teaching them, it was really the opposite. We would be asked to write petitions and prayers, and the ease with which they could come up with them helped me in my personal life, in my personal prayer life. Slowly, this translated into being more able and comfortable with leading them in prayer. It's funny how I was in a leadership position, but it was really they all along who were leading me to where I needed to be, to where I longed to be, but didn't know it until I got there. Like the poor widow in our gospel today, our youth are the unlikely people who are tapped into God in a way that at times is more accessible than those who like to walk around in long robes and be greeted with respect. Present company excluded. I like my job. The youth group in Frankfurt was not huge, but they loved being together and serving alongside each other. They prayed together, we prayed together, and loved the Lord together. Our time in Germany was ending, and when the kids were preparing for confirmation, I decided I wanted to be received into the Episcopal Church. They had helped lead me this far, and for me it was the culmination of all this love I had experienced with them.